I recorded this sequence by myself, nobody helped me, and it was a very good practice because from next month, most likely, I'm gonna start my solo travels as a photographer. And I'm gonna have to be recording myself all the time. So this was a good practice, and I wanted to show you as well how you can do it, because many of you already text me on Instagram telling me that you are interested in making photography vlogs, but you don't know how to start, you don't have help from anyone. So this video is for you because I'm gonna tell you so many tricks so you can do it as well. I'm gonna cover the gear I used, and I'm gonna tell you alternatives that you can use if you don't have the same gear as me. Then I'm gonna tell you how I recorded each scene, and then I'm gonna tell you as well so many editing tricks. It's not gonna be an in-depth tutorial about the software I use. I'm gonna tell you editing tricks for the sequence to look more cinematic, and you can use them all the time regardless of the software you use. And then I have a very exciting competition that I really want you to enter, so please stay till the end because I'm sure you're gonna love it. So let's start with the gear I used for this particular sequence. I used the Sony a7C I'm recording with right now, and I was using a tripod. Those are for the static shots. You're gonna have everything linked below if you wanna check it out later, but you just need one camera. Then, very important, this is a must, a tripod. The one I used is the one I'm recording with right now. It's my favorite tripod because it's very minimal, it's very sturdy because it's carbon fiber, it's very light and very tiny. So for me, it's my best travel companion because I can put it anywhere and I'm gonna take it with me everywhere. And I do have a video on my channel reviewing it if you wanna check it out later, but I recommend you to have a very light tripod because otherwise you're gonna hassle more when you are traveling or going to a location, and you're gonna be very lazy to carry the tripod because it's very heavy and very bulky. Something I used to make it look even more cinematic, all the sequences, was my drone. It's this one here, and it's the DJI Mini 2. It's very tiny. My idea was to take the cheapest I could find because I'm a beginner flying the drone, okay? So I was terrified because they're expensive, and yes, I have an insurance for it, but I was very scared. So if you are a beginner, I highly recommend you to take a drone if you want to, obviously, but a cheap one, just to experiment and see how it goes, and then when you get better, take a better one. So that's most likely what I'm going to do. I took this one and it doesn't have tracking, which means that it sucks because to record yourself, the DJI Mini 3 Pro, it tracks you, which means you just have to track yourself, you can walk, you can do stuff, and the drone is gonna follow you, and it's like having a filmmaker in your camera bag. And I'm looking into it, but for now I have this one, and I'm gonna tell you later how I did it for it to track me without tracking, because it's a hack I saw time ago and I used it and it came out pretty good, so I'm gonna tell you later. So what you can use if you don't have any of this gear. A camera you're gonna need, but you don't need a professional camera either. I know many people tell you this, but this is true. If you are overwhelmed because you cannot afford a camera, you can start with your iPhone or whichever phone you may have, because the cameras on the phones nowadays are insane. So you can record yourself. Of course, you're not gonna have the advantage of having a drone. So, I mean, I love the drone, so I would highly recommend you to get one, but if you don't have any, just practice with whatever you have. With the iPhone, you're gonna be able to do a lot. Also with a GoPro. I didn't use it this time. I do have a GoPro. This is the Hero 11. Again, you're gonna have everything linked below. And I particularly use it a lot for underwater, obviously, and also for shots in the car because it has a very wide lens. So I really, really love it. And I use it a lot for other vlogs, but I didn't use it for this sequence in particular. So it doesn't matter the gear you have. Try to start with your phone if you don't have a camera. If you have a camera, even better. But this is the gear that is gonna give you a lot of versatility. The GoPro, the drone, and a camera. If you don't have, again, with the phone, it's totally okay to start with. Let's talk now about how I recorded the clips. So the opening clip, it's my feet in movement. How did I do that? Using my tripod. So I put the camera on my tripod and then I grab it like a stick, focusing my feet and moving the arm around my feet. And that's it. And I think it looks very cinematic because I love movement. Cinematic means as well movement in many shots, guys. So I highly recommend you to create movement doing this. The next shot is a drone shot. So what I did is frame myself with the drone and then hiding the remote, even if you can see it in some scenes, and I left it there at purpose for you to see it. I was just driving the joystick to follow me while I was walking. It was not that bad to do it that way, but there is another way I did later where you can choose the quick shot called helix. You have automatic shots with these drones and I put helix, and what I did is frame myself in the screen and then I started to walk while the drone was executing the helix move. And it worked out very well, guys. This is a trick you can use if you have a drone that doesn't track you. Then the rest of the shots are close-up shots. This is something I highly recommend you to do. Don't focus on recording yourself only. Try to get details of the landscape or the landscape as well. Always wide shots, medium shots, and close-ups. So you have variety. So I did a close-up with the seagulls, I did a close-up of the waves, of the rocks, I did wide shots as well. Try to be creative with your framing. If you follow my photography work, you know that I love putting things in the foreground. So here what I did is put the tripod in the other side of these bushes and put myself there in between. In this scene, I used manual focus. In all the rest was autofocus, but in this one manual because otherwise the camera would lose me because of the grass in front. So this is a creative shot I did and you can do as well. Experiment always shooting through things because I think it's gonna look more creative and more interesting. And an extra tip I can give you is to shoot at a very shallow depth of field to get bokeh in the background, to get this beautiful blurriness because I think it looks way better. And if you don't have a very bright lens, that's fine. I was shooting this scene with a 24-105mm f4 from Sony. And what I did is zoomed in a lot to be able to push that bokeh. If I shoot at 24, I'm not gonna get bokeh in the background. So this is a trick you can use if you have a very average lens and you want to create bokeh in the background. Shoot always zoomed in to be able to get it. Let's talk now about editing. Editing is very important because you can have incredible shots that if you don't know how to stitch them and how to make them look cinematic, you're not gonna end up with a nice sequence. So for editing, the first thing I do is choosing my music. Why do I say this? Because it's what is gonna set the mood of the scenes. So I wanted to choose a very cinematic track that matches the sequence of the beach and the mood I wanted to create to my audience. So for music, I use Audio, which are sponsoring today's video, and you're gonna be able to find incredible music there because they work with international music artists to provide you license-free music that you can use for your videos, for internet, for client work, whatever you want, and you're gonna be able to select the music by moods. This is something I do a lot because they have a section called Cinematic. And I have a new playlist that I'm gonna share with you, and this is very personal, guys. If you know me, you know that I love music and I shoot with music artists in London. So for me, music is part of my creative process, and I'm gonna put my playlist below. But if you want to join Audio, you can get a 70% off of the first year using the link below with the code I'm gonna add as well over there. So make sure to check it out because it's the cheapest you can get right now. They are also big supporters of my channel, and we put together a competition for you guys. And I really want you to enter because you can win a lifetime subscription with them and also an Amazon gift card worth $200. So I really want you to enter because all you have to do is a cinematic sequence, quite short. It can be from 30 seconds to 1 minute like mine, up to you. And it doesn't matter your level, okay? We are here to learn. Many of you may be beginners, and that's totally fine. In a month, I'm gonna review them all, and I'm gonna choose a winner. So please, I really want you to enter this because it's a big opportunity for you. And I'm gonna have the instructions below, what you have to do just to send it to me. That's it. You have a whole month. It doesn't have to be crazy good or very professional, just whatever you can do to practice as well. And the music doesn't need to be from Audio, okay? So you don't wanna sign up in Audio yet, that's fine. But it has to be license free because obviously if I'm gonna announce the winner, I'm gonna publish it on YouTube and it has to be license free, okay? And thank you so much Audio again for sponsoring today's video. So once you choose the track, For your sequence, the next thing you have to do is select always the best clips. I know you're gonna shoot a lot, I did shoot a lot, and half of the shots didn't make it to the edit. So guys, that's totally fine, less is more. Select only the best clips, because it's gonna be way better. Then, I'm gonna show you now. This is my sequence here. As you can see, I selected the clips, and what I would do is edit at the rhythm of the music. So you would have the track here, and you would have to check when the song changes for you to put the next clip. So this is quite easy to make because you just have to crop the clips to be able to match the song. So this is one of the first tricks. The next one would be sound effects. This is very important and many people don't even notice. But for example, I did add here the sound of the waves. So if I mute the track, and progressively I make it disappear, so it's not that harsh. And then if I mute this one, I'm gonna show you the background noise, which is wind. And if I go here, you're gonna listen to the seagulls as well. As you can hear, sound effects look amazing because it makes the scene look more realistic as well. So you can put the music and then you can add sound effects of the scene. But don't put too much volume on them because otherwise it's very fake. But in the background, it's gonna look way better. Then the next thing you can do is add movement. I'm gonna show you. So in this shot, for instance, because it's very static because of the tripod, I wanted to create movement to make it look more cinematic. So what I did is keyframe here. You can see there is a keyframe with no zoom. And then I went towards the end and I added another keyframe with a little bit of zoom. So now if I play it, you can see the movement. And I did the same thing with this shot as well. It's zoom in slowly. Do it very slow because otherwise it looks bad. And this way, everything's gonna look more cinematic because you have to create movement. Not all the time, but many times it's gonna look way better. So this is a trick. In post-production, add keyframes to add always movement. And then you have extra effects that you can use in post-production to add more things to make it look even more filmy. So at the beginning, in this first shot, I don't know if you noticed, but it's blurry in the corners. Around my legs, it's very blurry. This is an effect from Motion VFX. It's a website I use a lot. You can buy so many templates, graphics, and titles already pre-made to use in your videos. And it's a lifesaver, but some of them are a bit pricey. But to be honest, it's worth it if you are making a lot of videos. I'm gonna link it below. So saying all of this, I can tell you many more tips, but these are the main ones. Choose the right music, matching the sequence. Cut at the rhythm of the music. Then create movement when you are recording and also in post-production with keyframes. And try always to use the best clips only. So don't make it too long because the audience get tired as well. So make it short and sweet. So please check below the competition and send me your sequences because I'm looking forward to seeing them. And you have a month. In a month, again, I'm gonna review all of them and I'm gonna announce a winner. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, please drop them below because I'm always very happy to reply and to help. And as usual, subscribe to my channel if you didn't yet, and like the video because it helps me a lot, and I will see you very soon. Big love.